Hi, this is Omar here with General Inquiry and Analysis. Artificial Intelligence Continued. So, today we watched a couple videos talking about the pros and cons of artificial intelligence and some of the benefits it could have. Something that really surprised me was during the TED Talk they talk about the deep learning um, that the computers have. Like there are computers now that know how to see, that can read, that can write, that can translate, that can read, that can compose their own sentences. That to me is really amazing because I didn't really think about it. They started talking about how Google does this and how other things like Facebook and YouTube do this by deep learning. And then some of the things that are amazing is that now computers can do things better than humans. One example to me that was pretty cool was that it was able to diagnose cancer better than most pathologists, which is amazing. If you can are able to diagnose cancer quickly, it's easier to treat, and the patient doesn't have to suffer as much, or there's a more likelihood that the patient can live. And just the amazing things like they can now take pictures of cars or of different things and break it down into different categories. They showed a presentation of over 1 million pictures and how the computer was able to take bits and pieces of it and just create these categories and be able to break them apart, set them apart, and just allow it to run its course. Um, that was pretty neat because that can also be applied into the medical field. And some they were saying is that doctors can now use this, or pathologists can use this to diagnose different things of cancer. The thing is that it's not replacing humans, but it's using humans to help the process along in order to diagnose the problems and all that. But one of the problems that they presented was that along with all this, a lot of computers are doing things that most people can now. So that means that there are going to be less jobs, things are going to get harder for people. Not only that, but it looks like the computers are hitting a curve in which they're going to just rocket up and be able to do a lot more than they are now, which is going to cause trouble for us because we're going to be out of jobs. Just the only thing that the owners of these computers now will have to worry about is electricity bills. They won't have to pay people to actually go to work. Some other worries that occur with this is everybody has this iRobot sense of thinking that every robots are going to take over, they're going to make us do things, or Terminator where everybody dies. I'm not so sure that's going to happen, but as computers learn more and more and more, humans become less needed. And eventually, if computers continue to think, they'll be able to reason and justify certain things. And so, for us, it becomes, as a human race, it becomes a little bit harder. Soon, computers will be, well, the way they were talking, computers will be able to be judges, be lawyers, be all these different things, which is kind of scary when you think about it. But it's also kind of cool. One of the biggest arguments is that we start creating robots. We start creating things that, well, I guess, with synthetic life. And that in itself is kind of scary to have the thought or notion that something that looks like a human is walking around, talking, integrating itself with us. And at the same time, they're learning at a capacity far faster than any human could ever dream of. So eventually, in that aspect, robots could take over and take over jobs, take over companies, take over this and that, and make our lives a little bit more difficult. But overall, I don't think that as a human species we'll be able to adapt and change. And yeah, that's what I got.